Chiappa was founded in 1958, originally as Army Sport, based in Italy. It was founded by a guy named Mr. Chiappa. How fitting. And over time, it's grown into a large competitor in the firearms industry that we know today, while still being a family-owned company. Now, Chiappa believe that their firearms are some of the best out on the market, being both a mix of CNC machined and visual practical inspection, maximising the efficiency as a whole of a company. Now, they do some quite interesting things, and they even do a UK legal spec revolver, and that's what I have here with me today, the Chiappa 120 double and single action revolver. Now, due to the UK legalities here, I am going to point out a couple of interesting things about my specific revolver right here. Now, due to the handgun ban in 1997 here in England, this is classified as what I call a long-barreled revolver, which means it has a barrel no less than 12 inches and an overall length of no less than 60 centimetres. Now, this means, however, it can be chambered in pistol caliber rounds as long as it's not semi-automatic. If it's semi-automatic, it has to be classed as what's a long-barreled pistol, and this means it can only be in .22 caliber. So, for instance, this is a long-barreled revolver. It's allowed to be in any pistol caliber because it is not semi-automatic. It's a revolver. Anyway, let's move on to the video. Now let's go over some basics of the Chiappa Rhino. It was first produced in 2010 and is still being produced up until this day. It comes in multiple lengths ranging from 2-inch to the 12-inch UK variant. It comes in multiple calibers, as we've previously stated. It is double and single action, which we'll go over briefly in a little bit. It's CNC machined for tight tolerances and accuracy, and in fact, the entire frame is CNC'd from a single block of high quality aluminium alloy. I believe it's 7075, but I could be wrong, I think that's correct. Now, specific features of this Chiappa Rhino. Has a 6 cartridge hexagonal cylinder. This was done actually to reduce its weapon profile for concealed carry, according to the manufacturers. Obviously there's no way you're concealing this down your underwear anytime soon or in a holster. It has a lower firing chamber, so rather than the topmost one, it's designed to reduce the muzzle flip and keep the gun in line with the wrist. So as you've seen from the shooting, it has very little recoil, and that's minimised because of where the barrel position is. Now, I believe another channel, Demolition Ranch, released a video about this a couple years ago where they tested it compared to a normal revolver, and you can see there is a massive difference in the muzzle flip, which is pretty good if you want to stay on target. Larger models, such as the 60DS, come with Picatinny rail laser mounts and optics. So if you have a look at the 60DS model and this model, it's basically just a 60DS extended. It has a top rail mount for any sort of attachment, such as a red dot sight, as I will be getting on this very soon. It has an external cocking lever. Now, this actually acts as a linkage handle to the internal hammer. It minimises the outside components. So actually, this isn't the hammer itself. There's an internal hammer, and this is just simply a linkage to that, to cocking. It has adjustable rear sights for both elevation and windage. And this model specifically, the 120DS, weighs in at 1.15 kilograms, which is not bad at all for a 12-inch barrel. Nice, sturdy, thick revolver like this. It looks really high quality. Now, what are my thoughts on this? Because this isn't a review, it's an overview. It gives you the basic tech specs, a little bit about the product, but it's also my thoughts so far. And having only owned this for almost a month now, I've got quite a lot of praise for it so far, and I really hope this keeps on going like this. It's really high quality first off. The single block aluminium machinery here is extremely smooth to the touch. It looks really nice visually, and definitely for the UK spec, if you've ever seen the Taurus long barrel revolvers, they look quite silly. I think this, the way they've done the extra 6-inch on the barrel here, doesn't look that stupid. It almost looks like a moderator, which is quite interesting. It has accurate tolerances in shooting. If you ever look at the chamber for this, it's very, very nicely machined, and 38 Special and 357 Magnum both fit very snugly, very nicely. It comes with moon clips, makes it very nice and easy to reload, as you've seen in the video. Very nice. Has low recoil, and I have to say, this bottom barrel firing actually works. It does seem to reduce the muzzle flip. Like I mentioned earlier, I have seen Taurus long barrel revolver here in the UK before. They do seem to kick quite a bit. This does not. I was shooting full 357 magnum loads and it was very much controllable, very comfortable to shoot, and obviously just very nice overall design. That's my fourth point. I love the design of this revolver. It's very nice to look at visually and also to shoot. It's comfortable to hold for long periods of time, and you can even shoot it with a single hand if you need to, regardless of its silly length. Now, elsewhere in the world, you can get probably 2-inch to 6-inch barrels here, not 12-inch like I have, and that's a lot more reasonable for a revolver. And it depends what you want it for, but I think it's great. Now, unfortunately, the downsides here are the UK legal spec. Like I said, look at this coat hanger on the back and look at this barrel. It's a little bit silly. I would love if there was ever one day a change in legislation, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen as much as we would all like here. And the cost as well. It costs, as of late 2022, 1,465 Great British pounds, which is not very cheap at all. In fact, you can get a very nice quality Marlin repeater rifle for that price in 44 Magnum, which is going to be my next purchase. Just a little heads up. But yeah, I wanted something a little bit different, and this is what I've ended up with, a Chiappa Rhino 120DS. Now, that is it for this brief overview. Like I said, it's going to be very simple, very brief. I'll come out with a full review with this revolver, probably in the next 2 months, after I get a little bit more use out of it, and I can get a more, let's say, fair opinion on it. Because at the moment, it's very new to me, and I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to stick around for the next video. Cheers.